in knowing him, first of all, from the times that I've met him and deposed him and sat in mediations with him, he never, ever struck me as someone who questioned whether he had done anything wrong. He was always overly self-confident in what he had done and his belief that he had never done anything inappropriate at all, ever. And he had convinced himself. So I start with the assumption that he committed suicide in jail. I don't know, to be perfectly honest, how he ended his life or how his life ended. I can tell you that one of two things occurred. Either there was a failure by the Department of Justice with respect to taking him out of his cell where he had a cellmate and putting him in an isolated cell alone, giving him the ability to do this to himself with sheets and ropes and pills and all kinds of stuff that they found in his jail cell. Cameras in the top secret prison. I mean, this is a high security prison in New York, one of the highest security prisons in the country. The video cameras all failing at the same time, and 2 prison guards falling asleep. Or he committed suicide. You know, there was never any inclination that he ever felt he wasn't going to get out. He always felt, look, this is something I got to go through. I'll be out of here in a flash. It's not a big deal. So it was rather surprising to me when he died in jail. Having said that, if he did take his own life, it's certainly the coward's way out. You know, I don't think he did it out of guilt. I think he did it because he didn't want to be in jail for the rest of his life. It was a selfish act that he was only thinking of himself when he did it. You know, I am not one for wild speculation, but because I deal in reality and proof and evidence. And like I said, what I could tell you is that the evidence is circumstantial, but overwhelming that it was not suicide. He was overly confident, very self-confident. He was engaging. He was friendly. He was disarming until he was upset, at which point it was like a switch flipped. But he always felt as though he was the smartest one in the room, and you could see that by how he spoke and how he talked to people. It was always in a way where he made someone, if they challenged him or questioned him, made someone feel like they were stupid. You know, he would try to act in that way where, you know, he knows and you just don't. You don't understand kind of personality. But engaging nonetheless. I mean, if he was friendly with you, he was always disarming and engaging. He would start, whenever I saw him, knowing I was his adversary, he would still start to try and engage in casual conversation, where he would try to be friendly and, hey, how you doing today, Spencer? And good to see you again. You know, it was always a banter with him where he was trying to persuade the other person to engage in a nice, friendly conversation. And then if I got adversarial with him, you could tell that there was a switch that would flip. And then he would just make you try it. He would try to make you feel like you didn't know what you were talking about. You're stupid. I know things and you just don't know. It was that kind of a personality.